The tendency of individuals to respond to social groups and to allow them to influence their behavior is one of the most intriguing aspects of human behavior. It's intriguing because it's really funny that sometimes people choose to follow the norms of some social group, but they choose to violate, they choose to break these norms, when they are members of that same social group. It's really puzzling. Why do people choose to follow some norms and they choose to break some others? All right, is it a matter of personal choice? Or is it because they really want to change that social group? Is it because they really want to revolutionize, the ways that these people, behave in the social group? Now, these are some of the questions that sociologists are looking at when they're studying, group conformity and social groups. Individuals have a tendency to conform to the behavior of other members of a group, even when no explicit demand is there to do so. Right? Imagine a situation, a bunch of people standing at some traffic lights, in order to cross the street, and we see that the traffic lights are red, so everyone is just waiting for the green light to come up, right? But we see that there is, one or two people who really, desperate to cross the road, and you immediately see that they're starting to cross the road, and then, everyone standing at the traffic light, they would see, well, these two people started to cross the road. Should we really follow these people or we shouldn't? Well, there are a bunch of people who are not crossing the road, so you might say, well, probably I should stick with, with the rest of the people who choose not to follow what these two people are doing, right? So you choose to conform to the behavior of the majority of people waiting for the green light. You choose not to follow these two people who decided to cross the street at the red traffic light. So the puzzle here is, why did these two people decide to cross the road at the red light? Why wouldn't they conform, to the behavior of the majority of people who are waiting for the green light? All right, so this is a phenomenon, a typical social phenomenon that sociologists would also be interested to look at. Now, this is all about the social groups, and if there's something you didn't really understand, if you didn't really catch, please look at the slides, read the book, and if you still don't understand something, you're always welcome to send me an email or see me during the office hours. Now, the last topic for today, for this video lecture, is organizations. Organizations are deliberately constructed collectivities aimed at achieving specified goals with clearly delineated statuses, roles, and the rules. There are a bunch of organizations out there. Actually, our life is shaped by these organizations. We are inevitably taking part in the lives of these organizations. We may create even these organizations. What are these? As an example, Kimat University, organization, the parliament, organization, and the police, it's an organization, the kindergarten, organization, some not-for-profit or some commercial company is also an example of organization. You see, all of these organizations are there in order to pursue some objectives, in order to pursue some common goals, which is provision of education to the citizens of Kazakhstan, or maintaining safety and security of citizens of Kazakhstan, that's what the police is doing, regulating public life, public space, that's what the government is doing, right? Earning money for the benefit of the company, that's what the private companies are doing. You see, any organization has an objective. Distinctions among the types of organizations is on the basis of how the control is exerted over the people who exist at or near the bottom of that organization. In other words, the differences between organizations are based on how the control is exerted over the people who work for that organization. There are three types of organizations, the three classical types of organizations. Coercive organizations use force to control those at the very bottom of the structure. The major examples of coercive organizations are the prisons and the mental hospitals. So remember from the past discussions in the class, we mentioned the total institutions, such as the army, such as the mental institution or the prison, right? We may also call these organizations as coercive, because action and behavior of the people working at these organizations is not really voluntary. No one is asking you whether you really want to do that or not. You are simply coerced, you are forced to do certain things. Utilitarian organizations is the second most widespread organizations. They use money to control the people at the bottom. So they give you some material benefits, material rewards for whatever you're doing for that organization. Industries, businesses are the most common types of utilitarian organizations. All employees and workers in these organizations, they do what the organization is expecting of them because they're simply paid for that. I mean, I'm standing in front of you, okay, recording this video lecture because I'm really here in order to educate you. But in order to motivate me to do this, I'm receiving a salary. It's my monthly wage, right? So after you graduate from KeyMap, you will get a job. And in this organization, while working for that company, you will of course be worried about how much money you will be making in order to be doing whatever you're doing. So there is some utilitarian interest, utilitarian costs and interests associated for exchanging your services for the rewards, for the material rewards that you're getting from the company or that organization. Finally, the normative or voluntary organizations. In this type of organizations, the participants, the members, the employees, they are controlled by the norms and the values of organizations. That's all. They are not really coerced to do something irrespective of whether they want to do that or not. Neither are they paid for whatever they're doing. So the examples of these types of organizations are non-governmental organizations, various public associations, clubs, social movements. People working in these organizations, they do this not for the sake of money, they do this for the sake of some value. They do this for the sake of bringing some benefit to the society, for the sake of self-gratification, for the sake of boosting their self-esteem, for the sake of caring for the environment or protecting the rights of the animals. You see, a bunch of clubs, interest groups exist out there. Even in Kazakhstan, we have lots of voluntary organizations where people are doing something not for the sake of earning money, but for the sake of doing good for the people, for the environment, for themselves, for the people surrounding them. All right, so these are the three most important types of organizations, most widespread types of organizations. Now, this is all I wanted to say. Please make sure that you study all the chapters, key terms, and the key concepts. Please also do the exercises on the website, as well as study the slides. All right? Hope you liked this video. Thank you very much, and see you in the class. Bye now.